Yo, it is Brian, aka Be the King from Post Office Squad. Got my man Josh with me, also known as MP88, and we are watching a video. Rich versus Poor. Is the economy rigged? We're about to find out. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
Real estate guy, I can make millions of dollars and use the exact same tax loopholes that a Donald Trump would use and pay effectively no tax. And does that make me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Step forward if you agree. Being poor is a choice.
We need to realize that these people are on the street not because of their own choosing, but because of the system that we live in perpetuates these things.
If I could speak to that, I come from a family that once relied on welfare and food stamps, and I've been blessed enough to make millions of dollars in real estate. But had I bought real estate from 2005 to 2008, I'd probably be bankrupt today. I just bought it at the right time.
People wish to be rich, they don't want to be rich. The difference is, do you take action?
Billionaires should.
All right, so I'm gonna pause right there. So
Okay.
I kind of agree on both sides, but the guy at the end, he was saying there needs to be just like something in the middle. So I partially agree with that because I feel that you got to have somebody that's willing to take it to the next step. So then they can create something larger in order for a bunch of people to be employed and to be able to continue to find work, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a rich thing. It's just got to be someone's got to decide to like uplift and create something better. That's just how I sit with that one.
Yeah, I completely agree. For me, what I realized, because I always wanted to do big things with my goals and everything like that. When I was talking to other people and my peers, and their goals weren't really as big as mine, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
you can do what you want, believe what you want, have your own goals. But I realized that not everybody's the same. Like that guy was saying, not everybody wants to be rich. Not everyone wants to
Right.
be this high level, high class type person, and that's completely fine.
More money, more problems. That's what Biggie said.
Yeah.
Not exist.
Personally, I don't think there's an issues with billionaires existing. The issue for me is that they need to be held accountable the same way poor people do. And I'm talking about the justice system.
When you look at a lot of billionaires who have gotten that way because of the just incredible amount of value they've given to society, I won't even talk about a huge, crazy billionaire. I'll talk about Jay-Z, who's a billionaire. He made amazing music. That's how he became a billionaire.
So I'm gonna just say that's cap. Although Jay-Z did build his net worth off the fact that he was a rapper and that was his brand. Same thing with Kanye. They both did not get $1 billion from music. That's not true at all.
No,
Not
it's
even
other
Michael
stuff.
Jackson, who was like the #1 music guy overall, made $1 billion from music. But these people
Yeah.
knew how to network the brands and did things that were smart business ventures that made them
Yeah.
$1 billion.
We're gonna give them to the other people who weren't as talented as you.
I completely agree.
I completely disagree. I feel like that is the government's job. And Jay-Z, like you said, Jay-Z made his money from music. That's his labor. He's a musician. He's selling.
Cap.
Yes. So I feel like this one guy's got a vendetta, right? I feel like his job is to argue with the guys on the left. Like he's a plant.
He's
Like,
a
that's what I
plant,
feel
yeah.
like. Yeah, I feel like they're like, hey dog, we really gonna need some controversy because he can't see it like outside of like his point of view already.
Worth it.
People who make $1 billion get a fraction of the value they create. Everybody here who has a business understands that. Even Jay-Z only gets 15 cents a record he sells. Okay?
Yes, that's because he got exploited by the record label who's using his label
No,
to make money. It's the same
You
thing
keep using this word
when he
exploiting like
invests.
you understand the record business, of which I am in, okay? Record labels back hundreds of artists. Do you know how many go busto?
Yeah.
Okay? They're taking risk in an artist.
Yeah.
See, like you said, this guy's definitely a plant or something. You know,
Yeah.
he was just complaining about Jay-Z making money off of alcohol and stuff like that. But now that Jay-Z was supposed to be someone who's getting screwed by the system too, it's not his
Yeah.
fault anymore. It's the record label fault. And then when it's not the record label's fault, who else? What fault is it? Oh, it's capitalism.
It's gonna be
fault.
us.
Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna be us, the purchaser. It's
Yeah.
their fault for making him a slave, you know?
Yeah.
He-
It's just ridiculous.
exploiting them, they're taking on a bet. And they can't just give everybody 50-50, they'll go bankrupt. You don't understand the record business and you're just yelling out these words exploiting like you know what you're talking about, but you don't.
Your labor creates value, and then your employer takes that value and distributes it unevenly to themselves and then leaves the rest for the workers. That's
All right, so I got something to add. All right, so I'm in the automotive industry. We have to charge markup on parts. There are sometimes fees for like things that we have to use to work on people's cars. If we don't charge a markup on parts and everybody brings their parts and we pay, or we only charge the customer what the employee makes per hour, how am I going to have a facility in order to operate, to supply jobs to people? If somebody's just the face of a product, or if I got, Be the King clothing line, I'm not going to get all the profit. I'm not getting the majority of the profit because I'm just the face, I'm just maybe the guy that created the idea, but if I'm not the guy that can put it into fruition and make it happen, who am I?
Yeah, exactly. If people didn't have to think about costs like labor and stuff like that, a lot of things would be significantly cheaper.
I run a software design agency, and this year I'm going to be taking home about $400,000. When I started my business, that was like all consuming for me. Everything I did in my life was for business. And so I think my partner felt a lot of neglect. And so a lot of our arguments, a lot of the times that we had issues were because of my absence.
See, I like her. I think she's modest. I think she's humble.
Yeah, and I like how she noted how she had arguments and stuff like that with a spouse. Because when you
It's a sacrifice.
Yes, exactly, it's a sacrifice. When you see these people building up companies and businesses, a lot of the times they have to sacrifice their own personal life to give time to that business to make it grow.
The economy is rigged.
You discount the role of capital and savings in any type of venture. Like my mom didn't want to be rich. She wanted to be a school teacher and work and do that and live in the middle ground, and that's fine. But there are people like me who want to take a lot of risk and get a lot of reward. And we put that capital to work.
It's not, I don't think that they're working the same. I think it's what happens when someone's not looking at you expecting, productivity and work out of you that makes a difference to me.
Yeah. The entrepreneur, they have to work 24/7. They're really, of course, they can take downtime, but if someone calls on during the downtime and say, listen, if you don't make this call, if you don't make this meeting, you're going to lose millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. They have to stop what they're doing and go and handle that, because no one else is going to push them to do that. It's their responsibility and their job.
And use the exact same tax loopholes that a Donald Trump would use and pay effectively no tax. And does that make me a bad guy, or did I just study the tax code?
It makes you a bad guy, yeah.
You think so?
If you do that, yeah.
I'm following the law to a T.
The law is wrong. Yeah.
Why is it wrong? It's the law.
I'm not.
You think just because it's law, it's always right?
No, certainly not.
No, I'm not saying
but
that.
That's my point.
No, the law is written to encourage investment, is which they want.
The reason why they encourage investment laws is to encourage the GDP to go up, and that encourages the national wealth to go up. Amazon is generating trillions of dollars in wealth, and the founder is only getting probably about 2% of the money that he creates. You can't be mad at the capitalist side of it if people are actually buying it.
Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. If there's no demand, then they wouldn't be able to sell it at these prices.
But you can't look at differences between groups and say it's only because of systems. Systems played a huge deal to it. I'm not discounting that at all. Like, it's a real big deal, and we're working to change that. But also, I mean, statistically, like, people from my old neighborhood and people, around in these communities, they spend about 50% more on shoes than people who are not in those neighborhoods. And it's like, man, that.
Well, not only that, Todd, but I think.
Did you see that lady's face? She was like,
she's like, I know a couple of them.
Yeah, I know Roscoe.
I think I looked up a recent statistic that said that Asian households, their children tend to study 13 to 15 hours a week, where in a Black household, it's like 3 hours a week.
I've worried where my next meal will come from.
Me and my partner.
I like how the vast majority stepped up. That's something that if David doesn't see that this is something heavily relatable, David has no business being in this conversation.
Applying for EBT because we are just like living check to check right now.
Yeah. My man's fist bumping about EBT cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying it's
That's a
something
part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying it's something you should be shameful of, but it's also
Yeah.
not something you should be super proud of.
Most people would be like, man, I know, man, I'm in that same struggle. That wasn't his reaction. He was just like, yeah, dude.
He's like, yeah,
Like,
dude, like
that's not cool, dude. Like, that is not okay, man. That is not okay.
and again,
Governments.
it's not to shame people on it.
No,
We're
not
just-
at all. Absolutely
We're just
not.
saying that if you're on it and you're so proud that you're on it, maybe that's the problem.
Know that we have the funds to get groceries. It's so hard, and it feels like it's not as accessible as people make it seem.
So I'm getting paid paycheck to paycheck, and on top of that, I have a crippling gambling addiction. I'm addicted to weed. I'm addicted to alcohol.
I'm gonna just say this. All right, let's say you don't want to get rid of the weed, get rid of the gambling. Like,
Yeah.
like the gambling is like the pet peeve for me because, like, I'll say it all the time. People are buying scratch-off tickets. Like, I get it. If you win, cool. You know, you made some money, but you're literally, whenever you go to buy those tickets or you're gambling on something, you're literally saying like, I am willing to take an absolute loss with no guarantee of a return, rather than taking like the $5, the $20, and just saving it. You know, like, why not just save it?
And not even
versus
saving it. I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off.
or just go
Not-
spend something you want.
And
you
not
know?
even that,
Like,
not
go
even
get
that.
something you want.
Sorry to cut you off, but not even that. If you spend like $50 a week buying scratch offs or something like that, 50 times, how many weeks are in a year? 52? 52
that's a
times
lot of
50,
money.
that's like what, $2,500? If you put $2,500 in the market or some type of IRA every single year, by the time you're like 50 years old, you'll have a good chunk of change to not be poor. You know, to not even not be rich, but like not be poor, and to be in the middle class, to get a nice little suburban home and relax for the rest of your life, you know?
To alcohol. I'm addicted to vaping. And as soon as I have that direct deposit, it's like I have no control. Almost like I black out and I start gambling, start ordering drinks, start ordering weed, and then I come out of that no control feeling, and I'm like thinking, how am I gonna feed my pets this week, my cat, my dog? Like, I had all these plans up to my payday. Before I know it, all my money's gone, and it's addiction.
$15 an hour is not enough for minimum wage.
This is a hot topic.
I knew David was stepping up, though.
Oh, you know he was.
Let me get that $60,000 win and I'll stop gambling. That's my mindset, right? And another thing is, I feel like if I were to have like passive income, I guess you can say, or be financially stable, I can pursue and distract myself with my actual passions. Like, I want to start a true crime YouTube channel, but I don't have the laptop, I don't have the camera.
Okay, now that's straight cap. All right, listen. Everybody in the 21st century, they have at least a phone, right?
Yep.
And I make my own YouTube videos. The first 20 YouTube videos, that crap was all filmed on my phone and it was all edited on my phone. If you have a device that was made in the last 7 years, you have a device that's capable of making videos and online content.
It's not all at once. It's never all at once. And that's the thing people forget. It's, you know, if you've got a goal, it's not just going to be suddenly you just realize and achieve that goal. There's steps to it, man. You don't get to the top right away. You know, sometimes you've got to be number 1 million out of a million, and then you work your way up and you think you become number 1 out of a million. It's all in stages, you know, it's in steps. You got to work. And then, you know, baby steps. If there's big goals you want, man, it's not just going to be, I just woke up and I climaxed right away. No, you gotta build. Like, it's a constant climb.
Can we do
No,
a pause there, please?
I mean, if you're not climaxing when you wake up, what are you doing? No, but
Oh
like,
my God.
I mean,
Sorry.
you know what I mean when I say climax, like peaking. You know,
Pause again, man.
you're a hoe.
You even said you have to work to get it. What? What did you say?
Said you've got to work to get like a peak. Like, you're always, if you're not peaking, what are you doing? Like, you have to rise.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on.
Numb and thoughtless and I'm just enjoying my TV. And so, yeah, I feel like it would change. I would be able to have other distractions that are beneficial to me in a positive way.
He ain't buying it. You can tell his face. He says it. Because he's about to counter. He's about to activate his trap card. He's not feeling that.
Positive way.
If you had more money, you could probably have access to help, like medical help.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, psychiatrists.
David's definitely the friend that enables the bad behavior. You know, like you do
David
something
ain't trying to see you
stupid.
come up.
Yeah, you do something stupid. He's like, listen, bro, if the system wasn't messed up, that would have never happened, bro. I don't blame you. You know, he's an enabler.
David will have you fighting in the movie theater, talking about some, look what the system did.
Yeah.
Get him. He represents all the bad stuff in America.
Yeah, you look at your
Holding his
friends,
camera, bro.
You look at your group of people around you, you can tell your future. If you have this guy around you, you're not going nowhere. I'm sorry, David. Sure, you're a nice guy, but you're not that guy.
David will be the kind of guy you sitting around the table talking about some real stuff and how to come up, and he's gonna be like, "Nah, dog, the system rigged. We can't get out. You gotta kick him out.
You're gonna stay in the trenches today."
And David, I'm sure deep down you might be a good guy, but you're not it, dog. You're not getting on post office squad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, David.
Yeah, you've been cut. Don't even try out next year.
He's definitely going on a thumbnail, though.
I'm gonna be looking at David like,
yeah. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
I feel like a lot of jobs will pay minimum wage, but they will expect maximum effort. And I'm like, if you're gonna pay me minimum wage, I'm putting in the bare minimum effort.
Maybe they're worth 5, maybe they're worth 2. I want you to watch TV for an hour in your house and tell me how many commercials come up, because I'm doing a survey. I want to pay you $7 an hour. You think I should have to pay you $15 an hour for that?
David just looked over like, yeah, he should get paid $15 an hour for that. He saw how he looked over. He's like, obviously.
Oh.
Duh.
Commercials that show up on a television.
I mean, yeah, I would take any money.
Okay, so everybody here agreed that it should be $15 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah.
But by making the wage $15 an hour, you just eliminated a job that he's willing to do.
More money,
That's
more
true.
problems.
More money, like more social responsibility, right? Going back to.
What does that mean?
Like, if you're a billionaire.
You can already tell he's ready to fight.
I'm sorry.
You can already tell.
What does that mean? He kind of offended by saying that.
Yeah, like I already can tell that he thinks that like she's saying that having to share is a problem. Like that's what he's thinking in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that that's the case. Like I'm kind of in the middle with it. Like you can get out of a situation by having more money, right? But if a lot of your problems start up here, having money isn't going to fix them. You have to fix what's up here first. And sometimes fixing what's up there will allow you to make more money. It's not just going to be money solve my problem. Final thoughts. As far as me, I guess the major question is the economy rigged? The answer is kind of a no and a yes at the same time. It's kind of like Bill was saying, there's certain structures in place to impact certain industries more and not so much the individual. So that's the only part that I think is structural. But there's a lot of it that comes down to us holding ourselves accountable, for what we want.
Like everything in life, it's always going to be a yes and no answer. There's no definite answer to anything, right? It's always an open-ended answer. And yeah, it can be rigged sometimes, and sometimes it can't be rigged. Sometimes there's systematic things in place. But on the other end, we're in an age where you can make money really doing anything.
Yep.
You can make money making videos online. You can make money selling pictures of your toes if you want to do that.
Yep. This is the era of content creation and, selling yourself to the world. Well, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to hit that like button. And make sure you got those noties on because we're going to be doing more of these. Some are going to be in depth. Some are going to be a little bit more lighthearted, but we hope that you enjoyed it.
Yes,
Take care.
sir. Take care.